So this house is a GoPro on right now. It's not recording you, like it might see the back of your head. It's going to record the process of what we do, okay? Just if you're wondering if you see it on the counter, I don't think it can see you at all. Are you having any concerns with any teeth right now? No. Everything's feeling pretty good? Perfect. And your health is okay since last time? Yeah. Any medications that you're taking every day?
No.
No? Alright. And you don't have any allergies, right?
No.
Alright. You had your wisdom teeth out, right? Yeah, how long ago? A month ago? How's everything feeling now? Good? Yeah? Are you put to sleep for that?
Yeah.
And woke up and it was all done? What are you up to this fall? School or?
Not this year, but
Yeah.
I'm just helping my mom with my brothers.
Yeah. How old are your brothers?
10, 9,
Mm-hmm.
4, and 2.
Okay. Okay. So you're busy at home now. So I'm just going to move the back here, okay? You're the only girl? You're a little older? Yeah. towel so you can tell, okay? And just change your suction here. This makes a lot of noise. Aside from that, you won't notice anything else different, okay? months of class on the teachers today, so just try to get right along the gums there with the toothbrush. We'll take you up here, we'll get the dentist to come look at your teeth, okay? I'll put you right back here, okay? I'm just gonna grab the dentist for you.
Oh, hello, Tash. We meet again. How are ya? Good. There we are. So we're doubling up your appointments today? And those fingernails are sweet. Where do you get them done?
Alice.
Okay, nice. How often do you go?
Not that very often.
No. Is that like brand new for school or?
No, just fun.
Just cause? Nice. And what are you up to this year?
Just helping my mom with my brother's from homeschool.
Nice. So they're all at home right now? Oh, your mom is a saint. And so are you. I guess you probably wouldn't be able to do it without your help, I would assume. Because they're a handful. So what's your specialty at helping teach?
And I just keep my hands busy.
How have your teeth been feeling? Good. Everything's healing okay after the wisdom teeth? Yeah. And let's see, so looks like we did one little filling for you. There's one. Alright. Everything else is looking good on there. Alright, let's take these. Any areas where she needs to just get the toothbrush to a little more?
Someone's there.
Very healthy. Let's see how everything is. Moving the bites together. Now that time of growing up, you can do that double check on your tongue. I'll get you to open these and maybe just stick your tongue a little, hold on to it. That's the thoughts. Very healthy. No signs of anything that looks like cancer, which is awesome. Maybe you should hold your teeth together. I'm just going to check under here too. Use my fingers that weren't in your mouth so you don't have spit all over. We have mid-flavored fluoride today, so no signs of cavities, so we can really go in there. Just gotta make sure that I've got all of your spit. Open the thing. And then once this paint's on, we'll just ask you to wait about 15 minutes before turning it. Same instructions as always. I know it feels weird. It sounds like I'm sucking up your cheek. I'd rather suck up your cheek than all this gross stuff. So. Your cheek doesn't get stuck in the lines. You should see sometimes after, especially in the rooms where we've got a whole bunch of kids that aren't good at letting us put it on, how goofy the inside of these tubes can get. You can put your lips on there. Oh, what are all of your birthdays now?
10, 9, 1, 2.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they're good. They're getting bigger. Wow. Alright, we'll go like that. Well, no extra appointments required for you, just regular cleaning up coming, okay? And interesting. 1-4. That was put in wrong. Oh, that's funny. So we will plan on seeing you probably in the middle of the winter time. It'll be even colder than it is today. We'll give you some free swag.
So that was Tasha Yim. I did a unit and a half of scale, a prophy, and a fluoride. Dr. Katie did her exam. And that was that. No x-rays or anything.
Your mask is too cute. Just help us out here.
So how are things going for you? Okay. Are you working now or?
Currently I am not. My contract ended at the end of last month.
Okay.
And the other department that I usually take part in, they don't know whether or when really they're going to start. Like I asked the person that I trust to know the most,
Yeah.
he's like, we haven't even started the pre-planning.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
It might be a little while. I mean, nobody knows what they're doing when they definitely know they're doing something, right? So
Oh yeah.
never mind.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, crazy.
so while that's happening, my mom is getting moved into an assisted living facility,
Okay.
which means having to clear out her house.
Yeah, that's a lot of work. How is she doing though?
Like she's excited for it because we managed to, when I say we, BJ managed to find a place that would allow her to keep her cats,
Okay.
which for me was an important mental health thing,
Yeah,
just so
totally,
that
yeah.
she still has her companions. But
She just needs more help than she's getting at home.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, there isn't so much the, could you please take me to the bank and to go shopping? There is just, you will take me.
Yes.
And, like, there's only so much mentally that I can handle. So,
I would love to help your mother, however.
well, it's a case of if I don't do it when she asks, I will eventually get roped into doing it. So, like,
Hopefully on your terms at least.
you're funny. My terms.
She needs more, like just even at home, does she need help with bathing and dressing and stuff, or is she not just, she doesn't need that kind of assistance?
Well, we're at the point where, you know, she's done her chemo treatments. Her back is basically shot.
Oh, wow.
Her knee is, there's stuff going on there. She's forgetting more than she's remembering.
Okay.
And there's lots of medication.
Just
And
sorting that out, yeah.
and the house is falling apart.
Oh, no.
And
The most logical step is to get rid of the house.
absolutely.
No maintenance. Because she still would have a yard, she has a house, she has a yard to maintain, and I'm assuming you are someone else is doing that.
She was paying somebody to do that, and thankfully now that won't be something on her to-do list. But I am gonna also have to confront, like, actually clearing out the house, because the house is basically hoarded. So,
Oh no.
yeah.
And is she like attached to her stuff in there, or
She keeps because she doesn't know to do anything else. And so as a result, like I have started to mimic these behaviors, and my boyfriend drew a line in the
What are you doing?
sand.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
And so we're starting to clear out our apartment and make improvements and things
So
like
like,
that.
are all, how many rooms are there in the house? Like bedrooms wise in her house?
2 bedrooms,
Okay.
a finished basement.
So there's lots of places to store all her treasures. And Michelle, like say you were to go over there and say, Mom, I'm gonna organize the basement, would she allow this to happen?
Nope.
Okay, so like she's protective of the stuff, so. What if, so once she moves and takes what she needs, or at that point are you waiting, or are you trying to sell the house before she leaves?
We're trying to sell the house in October, and
Okay.
BJ has this mind about her that we're going to be able to do all this clearing, and that somehow my mom is going to help. And realistically, what should be done is we should be getting everything ready that she needs to move into the space.
Yeah.
And then everything else
Done.
is stuff we can worry about after. We can hire a team to clear everything out.
And there's like a lot of it is garbage, or is there stuff that's useful?
Who knows?
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Like, I walk into that house and within 5 minutes, I need to be out of it.
Oh no.
So,
You're having anxiety over just getting rid of the stuff.
well, I already have like anxiety and depression and all that stuff like built
Yeah.
into me already. So, like,
It makes it worse when you walk in there.
additional anxiety of like, this is my childhood home. It looks like shit.
Mhm.
My mother hasn't done anything. How am I supposed to deal with this?
At this point, she can't do anything.
No.
Like, she's not in a position that, oh, I'm going to spend an hour cleaning. That's not an option now,
Yeah. So,
unfortunately. But yeah, that's too bad.
so
So basically, you should just go in there and say, keep yourself busy upstairs. I'm going to be downstairs cleaning. We don't need any of this.
what I want to do
Can
is,
she even go downstairs?
yes,
She can. Okay, so she can physically get it downstairs.
yes. What I want to do, and like I need to talk to BJ about this today, is I just want to hire a team.
Yeah, get it up done.
Because she's like, oh, I hired a guy to help us like figure out like what stuff is worth money. That's great. That's not 20 guys that's gonna help us get all of
Yeah,
this
just
shit moved.
bring it to the dump. Like some of it was probably gonna be loads. Like my parents moved out of their house and like they weren't hoarders, and there was still probably 10 loads to the dump.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just in stuff from inside the basement that you're like, well, why did you even keep that? My dad's like, I don't know, like pieces of drywall that you are never going to use, like cut out piece. Like why did you keep that? I don't know. Like it's just stuff.
Like
But maybe you don't need at one
she's
point.
been buying teaching stuff as though she still has a full-time job.
Oh no. So like it might be useful to someone,
Someone,
not you.
I just want to be done with all of this.
Yeah, it's tough, huh? Well,
So-
especially if your mom, kind of her health is still questionable, right?
Yeah. So that's why I had a nice long chat with my therapist this morning. And
Yeah.
she's like, look, you're not going to be able to avoid this much as I want to. So it's
No.
either confronted and then deal with the emotional consequences after it's done,
Mm-hmm.
or spend all your time freaking out about it. It takes 3 times as long, and then you're even more traumatized. So
Yeah, not just go head in there and just get it done, like you said. And if you need the help, then yeah, it's almost like let's just peel the Band-Aid off, do it in a bang it all out, and then that's that. Yeah. Ugh.
yeah.
Oh no. So yeah, when we bought the house that my parents were in, so
Yeah.
we also were left with treasures in the basement when we got there.
Oh
So,
no.
we're like, why? I have like 3 punch bowls in the basement and hundreds of punch cups. Like, I think there were 200 of them, and I'm not joking.
Oh, I know you're not. That's the worst part.
Like, why do you... my mom got Nana's punch bowl, but then she also had Baba's and Granny's. Like, so there was a reason for the 3. And like, it's crystal, but like, who's gonna buy it? Like, you can't sell that. Like, you can't even put it on like Facebook, like asking like, hey, this is like a year and a half ago. Like, does anyone know like a church or, you know, an organization that might need 200 punch cups and a gigantic punch bowl?
Yeah.
No response. Nothing. 0. You know, so it's like, what do I do with this stuff? Like, it's not garbage per se, but I also don't want it, right?
Yeah.
And apparently nobody else does. It wasn't like I even said, like, I was charging for this. Like, I would have gladly dropped it off and been be with it. No, it's still my business.
No.
It's still. Yeah, it's just, it's bunch of stuff. But like, my dad also has, really loves Christmas lights. So many Christmas lights about that. And like, there's still some in the trees that we can't get down. Like,
Oh
and
no.
they're old, like, so they don't work anymore, some of them too. So we're like, yeah, this is the fucking thing now. No. It's like, it's so
Well,
bad.
what you do is you get like one of those like Christmas tree guys, like when they start advertising again, be like, how far out of the city do you go?
Yeah. No, we're in the city now, so we're good.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Back in the city, so yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, just hire them and be like, look, we have a very large
Yeah, you
mission
don't
for
want me
you.
to put them on, you want me to take them down.
Yes, because we don't have the kind of
Oh,
ladders.
we do. That's the thing. My husband can easily take them down. It's just not happening.
Oh,
He has about 75 left.
then he should be the one paying for this
So
service.
go take those down.
Yeah.
Oh, we just got one. Yeah, like some of the things we got one down with. Not all of them. Alright, we should do some work here, I guess.
And
You're healthy though generally? Any changes to your health?
no medication changes. There might be some in the future. I am seeing a specialist about that, but nothing.
Mhm, nothing-
crazy
nothing
new.
bad. Alright. And teeth-wise, anything hurting?
No.
Pretty much just been functioning, grinding all the time?
Besides the emotional trauma and anxiety and stress that I'm going through,
Yeah.
it's fine.
And your boyfriend's busy at work, or?
Yes. Ever since they put in the mandatory mask policy, he's been increasingly worried.
Oh, no, yeah.
Well, it's a mandatory mask policy.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, he also has a beard, and it presses against him the entire time. So he's just,
I guess you gotta shave. No.
no, he loves that beard. He's not getting rid of it for
No.
just about anything, like unless he had to
You
have
need some,
surgery.
like, special, like, conditioner to soften it up.
Well,
You know?
apparently there's like a silicone something that you can put inside the mask.
I've only seen it, like, on the internet. I've never
Yeah.
seen one in real life. Yeah. It, like, holds it out further.
Yeah.
It's gonna take 100 inside here today, okay?
Alright.
In a couple of years. Are they under like the N95 ones? Like the ones that are more like they look more like a
Yeah.
cone.
Yeah, he's using mostly cloth ones.
Yeah.
And plus he's wearing glasses.
Yeah, so they're foggy. Just
Yeah.
get some, you can get anti-fog that works, like just spray it on them, it should work.
Yeah, so
And yeah, with the ones, the KN95 ones, I've seen them at Costco, and they're more like a cone shape, like
Yeah.
a point, but you can reuse those. You have to leave them sealed for like a week or something, but you can re-wear them.
yeah, I'm gonna look into it and
Like,
see if I can
these
find.
ones, like you can only wear them once and then the plastic,
Yeah.
so it's nothing. Don't want to buy thousands of them.
Yeah, I just like, and especially because he works in such a tactile space, me in produce. Like, I worry for him all the time, and plus, like, he's considered one of the senior members of the team,
Yeah.
so he needs to set an example. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Really, they're like what the studies are showing is that it's airborne, and that's where the worry is. They decided probably the whole like touching thing is less likely, unless someone legit sneezed on the produce and then you touched it and you put it in your face.
yeah, or like spat on
But
it or
like
something.
something aside from that, like it's pretty rare that you would get anything.
Yeah, and it's funny because I was just listening to a podcast as I was driving here, and the guy's like, "Look, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an epidemiologist, I'm not an anything, I'm just a guy with a podcast.
Yeah.
But in all the research that I've done, because the show is about miasma theory, and he's like, okay, we made an overcorrection as a society to try to like distance ourselves from airborne stuff, but it's based on what I have read, and again, I am not a doctor, like he said, this seems like something that's airborne, and a lot of official places aren't taking that stance.
Yes, I know, it's totally.
And, you know, I think about people like you, I think about people like my boyfriend, I think about a friend of his wife is a teacher, and apparently she's supposed to start work today.
Yeah.
And I just, like, and then, like, the worst part, I'm in the waiting room, and there are guys down there, like a whole bunch of this stuff is blown out of proportion. Do you want to see the dead bodies?
Yeah, you want to go in there? I know, that's the myth, that's flip side where people think that everything is. It's just, why would you wear a mask when you're at the grocery store? Well, what if you have it?
Yeah.
And you sneeze, and then I walk through 5 minutes later and I breathe it out of the air particles.
And
And I'm
then,
sick. And
yeah,
then my kids are sick. And it, like, it's just, then the whole school is infected. Like, it's just, yeah, it can happen quickly, right?
yeah, and so that's why, like, I can definitely get behind the idea of aerosol being, like,
Yeah, I mean,
like, in the air is how things are being spread.
Well, they've seen that. Like, they know they have, like, people who are in a restaurant. And it's not just the people 6 feet away from that are infected.
Yeah,
It's the people, it depends on your ventilation. So it was like, everybody was infected in the whole restaurant, you know? Like,
Yeah.
because that's the way the air conditioner blew air.
yeah, there's a reason why there's the arrows in the grocery aisles now.
Yeah, there's no one in there that can make sense of.
Oh my god.
It's very hard.
I just, like, a friend of mine was ranting about this because she deals with fibromyalgia.
Yeah.
So, like, when she goes out, it is an event. And so she's out there, and this other guy, like, it's a this way aisle, and this person's coming this way, and she literally puts her hands out,
Yeah.
not to touch him, but just to stop him,
Okay, you're going the wrong way.
and then points at the ground.
Yeah.
And like shames him into turning around.
Some people don't have any clue in general, right? So
No.
it's not that they're trying to be, you know, to be rude or not follow the rules. Like they legit are in their own space and have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah. No, totally.
And so what did I find? This is the wrong way.
You need a checkup?
Sure I do.
Hi,
Hi.
sweetheart. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
And so Uncle Ernest hiding under all this stuff.
I was gonna say, like, aren't you like doing like a million other things right now?
Yep, but I always have time for you. I saw your name on the list and I had to come up and say hi.
How have you been?
I'm good. How are you?
Lots of stuff is happening. My mom is moving, and her cancer treatment is done, so that's something. But we now have to disassemble the house, and I'm essentially vibrating on the low frequency on a regular basis. But, you know, other than that, everything's fine.
Where would your mother move to?
It's an assisted living facility that takes pets. That's what I know.
That's important.
Yes.
Your mom is such a sweetheart. You know, it's COVID business, it's no good, you know, that's the vision anyway these days. When was the last time you saw him infected? A long time ago?
Oh God, I don't even want to think about how long ago that was.
Okay.
Well, we made sure of that a long time ago.
We did. You extend the time frame and protect the culture. Okay, just check your time, is that okay? Yep.
I guess I'm in increased risk now for all of it, so.
Everything seems A-okay.
I appreciate you going the extra mile.
You're welcome. Would you say hi, Stephanie, to your mom from me?
I absolutely will. How are the ladies in your life?
Oh my goodness, they're keeping me busy running. Lily got to New York yesterday,
Oh God.
back to school, and she phones us at 3 o'clock in the morning to tell us there's cockroaches in her apartment. She can't sleep.
Oh no.
Why should you, right?
So why should I sleep?
I need to share this trauma with someone else. That someone else is you.
Yeah, isn't that funny? I said, honey, we'll look after it tomorrow. I'll call the superintendent of the building. Take care.
Thank you, Alana.
And she only saw one.
Jeez. Honestly, in New York, only one. That's okay. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. And just call the super and be like, look, I'm gonna go stay at a girlfriend's after I've confirmed that she's cockroach free.
I think we're extra struggling because we don't have them. You know what I mean? Like, if it's something that's always there, like a spider or something, you're like, I mean, some people don't like those either, but like, you know, it's like, oh, it's really, they're
But
not
they're
gonna
just so
fight.
big.
I know, they're not gonna fight you or, you know, do something like that, but you don't want them anywhere near you, you know?
Yeah, just no. How are your ladies?
Good. They're excited to, like, they start school tomorrow.
Okay.
So they're excited to go back. It's been so long, right? So they're, and then see, their school's really good. It's a small school.
Ah, that helps.
So they are able to basically make their cohorts their classrooms. And Ruby has 14 in her class, and then Evie has like 15. So that's their cohort, someone that's awesome. So,
Wait, the last time
Yeah.
I had a class that small for anything was grade 6.
Yeah.
And that is such a blessing. I'm so happy
Yeah,
for you.
Evie's class has always been that small. They had enough to cut it, like, so they had like 32 or something, which means they can make 2 classes in their division. And then Ruby's class was always just shy of that number, but I think they just decided we're not going to have 30 in a class.
Yeah.
So they have the 2 classes, which is good. And then their school division has a lot more guidelines than some of the other ones, so that's also good, and see how it goes, right? You never know. I mean, all it takes is one kid to be infected, right? That's for the best. You can't not be at school.
Absolutely. And I also trust that with someone like you in the home, they've learned, like, there's no flexing around.
I understand if you have to adjust your mask. I get that. If you touch your mask, what do? You have sanitizer. People are like, okay. So then if you see other people touching their mask, you might have to remind them that you don't touch their mask. If they do, they should use hand sanitizer, right? If you sneeze in your mask, like, you know, like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
the whole, it's just like, yeah, and then I just feel this, like, Like we have little pouches where we're all clean and dirty, so we'll bring a whole bunch to school if they need. I don't believe they're going to be wearing them inside the classroom, because they are going to be, like, they're only 14.
Yeah, there's gonna be space.
There's gonna be space in between all the desks and everything, but in the hallways on their way out to recess and like how to put that one on. We like split the schoolyard into 13 separate boxes. We're going to be the key number of the classroom, so different box you stay in for recess.
I look forward to the person that has to try to corral the nursery and kindergartners into.
Like that one actually might have to have ropes around it or something, right? But I mean, if there's only like 12 of them, right?
Well, it makes it a lot easier,
And
and
only put pennies on the kindergartners, that's the other thing. Unless they maybe get their own pennies for the year or something, because they always have, just to keep track of where they are.
that's honestly really smart.
And then for the longer recess, they also go out before, are you pretty excited to start? She's going in grade 6.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, it's like, what was the right thing to do, like, really, for the summer and that, like, for a month, we didn't see anyone, right? Like, the first few months of this, everyone was kind of like, basically shut in, everyone's terrified, and we don't know what to do. And then, in the summertime, it's like, well, how big do you want to make love?
Yeah,
So it was
and
like, each of them basically had 2 friends that they saw, and that was it, you know, so that's not a normal summer, right?
No.
I feel like kind of maybe would have eventually said I'm not friends, but no, I'm just not gonna bother, right?
yeah,
There are people that didn't see. But then we also spent a little bit more time with their cousins, right? So that was nice.
yeah, and honestly, like, as terrifying as this is, and it is terrifying, honestly, like, there's a lot to be learned, and like any good memories that come from this are going to be things that you can look back on
Family,
fondly.
right? Like really for those first, 3 months, who did she play, they could play with them, the 2 of them.
Mhm.
Why, and even my sister, between her and her partner have 5 kids.
Mhm.
Would they ever play with each other? No. But they had no one else to play with, so they did. When would that ever happen, right? You may have a big, stronger bonds between your kids, and even my cousins and stuff, like my kids will, their cousins would, so the park is here, and like we're on one side and the cousins are on the other side, so they'll text each other to meet at the park, like almost every day. And
That's really
I've been informed that is not fun unless you have 4 people at the time. So they want to go just the 2 of them, so they need the other cousins to come too, then they can all play. Stick around at home doing nothing, so. Maybe, started playing like Fortnite and that this year.
Oh boy, video games.
We got a Switch for Christmas, and like, they didn't use it that much.
Mhm.
And it's almost to the point where I think they forgot we had a Switch. Maybe in the basement, because like, my husband has an Xbox upstairs. Anyway, so now she's loaded Fortnite onto it, so her and my husband can play at the same time, right? So
Do they squad up?
Yes.
Oh my god!
And then husband's on too. He's like addicted, and he's always on. So she'll go and like they'll text and say, "Okay, are you on?" And then they'll go meet up. So then there's other like his friends or more like he can go on too. She doesn't like it as much as he does, obviously.
Aw.
But she doesn't like it. She likes to play creative.
And honestly, like the fact that there's like shoot and loot, but there's also I want to build.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
great. she probably would dig something like Minecraft too if she hasn't got into that
She
yet.
has not, no. Yeah, she doesn't like creative because she's just bored. But I mean, after you learn how to play, right? But she's not that good.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Ruby tries to play, she just doesn't know play, so like, Dave's always stretching the way like the view, because the view the wrong way, and he's like, try to look up when you're going. Look that up. Like just nothing around. Hopefully they won't have to do home, do homeschool anymore. Sorry about that. But it's not ideal.
Oh, absolutely not. Like even just in a like listening to a teacher standpoint and like being able to immediately interject and say, what did that even mean?
Yeah.
Makes such a big difference instead of beat. I didn't understand.
Well, it's like for the artists, but I mean, what they did was because certain schools would be more prone to it, but like maybe you don't have access, maybe you don't have a computer, maybe you have a computer but you don't have internet like this. Maybe you're younger and your parents don't care. Like there's kids that that don't have any support at home. So how can you make anything mandatory
Absolutely.
at a public school? So everything was optional. And like there were no real guidelines set for teachers to teach.
Yeah, they were just.
So it was just like, hey, do something. But nothing's mandatory and like it was odd though. So like certain teachers were amazing. I think and then those teachers that kind of just sailed through was her.
Yeah, like it's literally the rules of whose line is it anyway. Everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Like, so then once the kids figure out it doesn't matter, especially the older ones, they don't do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless the parents make them. Unless that's an expectation in their household, right?
Oh yeah,
So
like
it's
if
like, well, if it doesn't matter and the point you can't get a bullet, so if you had a B, you can't get lower than a B.
yeah.
No matter if you did zero work, that's your mark for the end of the year, right? So, it's like, well, okay, I guess so. I mean, at the same time, if you're a kid with no support at home, or if you're a kid that is the translator because you're the focus and the mom and dad don't speak English well, and you're supporting your younger siblings, how do you support them? Because there's so
Oh
many
my god, I
variables
didn't even
to it,
think
yeah.
about that.
So the kids that would be the oldest one that would basically be in charge of everyone else, right? And they might only be 11, right? So there's a lot to playing with it, but, our division, I think our school, I would be shocked if people would say, oh yeah, they had a Zoom meeting or whatever, Teams meeting, and then half the class was on. Whereas ours would be on someone wasn't there, and if they weren't, someone would be like, oh, so-and-so had an appointment, they didn't know where they were.
Yeah.
So, it depends where you are, and then so Ruby's teacher was amazing, and she would post videos and stuff of, if there was a thing that they were learning, she had videos, and this is how you do it, and then every teacher was like, here, work. There was no teaching involved with it.
Like I also just think about like this is a lesson of when all of us show up and contribute something, we're going to get more out of the experience if only half of us show up and the person trying to teach doesn't contribute.
Yeah. I think they didn't teach you anything at all. There was no teaching involved. It's like they did a project on leaders. She was sent them a link to a website. And they could read through that and figure out and fill out a worksheet basically. Okay. I taught her how to do long division. And they're gonna be mad next year when everyone comes back and their moms and dads have taught them how to do long division the
Oh
old
my
way.
god.
Because that's how I learned it, and they do weird things now, where they group everything into like tens and I don't know, hundreds and stuff. To figure things out, and then they're like,
Yeah, no, we're gonna stick with the 1990s way. Thank you.
It's like the 70s. I think we have the same with our parents, right? It says, yeah, we're gonna do it. Oh, have you done long division for all? I actually had to secretly do it off to the side first. To refresh my memory of, I'm pretty sure I know how to do this from this data.
Ah.
Let me just double check this answer on my calculator. Because
Yeah.
yes, that is correct.
The people I feel worse about are like the people who supposedly graduated anything, or like the people that are going into grade 12 or starting like into high school or that kind of stuff. Like
Transition years. Well, high school, I think what they've done is like half and half, so the schools will be much emptier, right? So you can half is online, but half is taught in school. So you too, a lot of times you have work to do in the same class, right? Now that gets done at home. So you learn something, and then the next class you are doing it at home. Yeah, but part of doing that work in the classroom was putting your mind up to do what you're doing.
exactly.
And get, instructed right away. Yeah, there's lots of programs that just graduated people. There's even like university programs now. I think that's close enough. What?
Sure. You seem knowledgeable enough.
It's okay. When I was here, I had a university student, he wasn't graduating, and he said what they ended up doing, because nobody knew what they were doing, even, because especially by the end of university, that's like 2 weeks after, like, you're writing exams, like, right at the beginning of April a lot of times.
Yeah.
So they ended up letting them do, like, so they let us write exams online, and basically they had to make it open book, because, well, then what can you do, right? To make it, of course people were going to cheat, right? So they did open book, he said. So yeah, he's like, so that was easy. So what else do they have to make an open book exam? Because nobody knew what they were doing. How can we have them come in for exams? Now they would make them come in first.
Oh yeah.
So you can all do like maps and DC, they just like full auditoriums, you could have a bunch of them locked out in every other seat, or every third seat. For a student now. Yeah, I think they graduated like in third and stuff.
Yes. Good luck.
Good work. Yeah, our next girls are in New York this year for school.
What are they taking?
Dentistry.
They're going into the family business.
Lily's in her third year, and Alexia is going into her first year.
Damn.
But like, it's really nothing to do, right? In New York. It's really
Well, if nothing else, if you're going to be in the U.S., thankfully New York went through the worst of it,
hopefully, yeah.
and for the most part, has worked it out.
Stabilized it. Yeah. But they were there as the closure was happening, and he wanted to go. He wanted really, she wasn't there last year. He wanted her home, and she kept saying, I can't. She couldn't come home till they officially kept closing school.
Yeah,
Because otherwise she would be absent.
exactly.
So she's like, I can't just leave that. And he was like having a heart attack, I'm sure.
Well, of course, it's this little girl.
So yeah, the second they proved that skills to overdose. And Cristiano then just got out of Minneapolis.
Did she manage to make it home, or?
Yeah, I think he went to pick her up. Like that isn't as worrisome. Like you're not going to drive to New York, right?
Yeah.
But you could go pick her up, right?
Yeah.
And I think the border was closed or anything like that. Yeah. Everything seems to happen like really quick, right?
Oh yeah, like
But people
I was-
hadn't even heard about it, and then we're like in closure within a week.
oh yeah.
Like I was telling people that because we knew it was going to happen, and Ernest basically warned us in January what to expect. Like
Jesus
saying,
Christ.
schools are gonna close, we're gonna close, like please, like this is happening. He was pretty confident in January. So we had already had a few meetings leading up.
Honestly,
So-
that's more than I've heard of any other workplace.
And he ordered everything in January. That's why we have this stuff. January. And then even like, cause we went to the pediatrician, I wanna say the week before, just for like healthy child checkup. And I was telling him, like, he was like, I'm like, oh yeah, we're almost in closure. And he's like, really? Like he didn't, unless he was playing dumb, I don't think so. But I'm like, we're almost in closure. And he's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, we're gonna be closed soon. And like and that was like the Friday, by the Tuesday we were closed.
Yeah.
So it was like, Doc was like, what? But yeah. As a whole, the country doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Or that's what happens. Now, they might scale certain things back,
Yeah.
but I mean, our healthcare system can't take it.
Yeah. I'm just really pleased to hear that you guys are so well taken care of.
Oh yeah, so good. Did you expect anything less from him, right?
Well, the fact that like he was looking at like stuff like
Oh,
in
yeah.
China and all of that, like I honestly I wouldn't really know how like
Mhm.
everybody reacts so differently to this, and to
Mhm.
hear that the first priority was we're going to safety proof within an inch of our lives.
Yeah, safety, everything. And then he was, yeah, it's like, even at the beginning of everything, it's like, if you're, like, once the closure happens, it's like, if you're going out, you're wearing masks, like, make sure everyone knows, wearing masks, and so, like, at the beginning, we were, like, literally the only people at the store wearing a mask, but, it caught on, right? Yeah, if you can't wear a mask for the hour it takes to be reversing, maybe you should be shopping.
Yeah,
There's other options, you can order things online. You know, like, you can't breathe through that, you're not gonna breathe with COVID at all. Like, you're not gonna put that back.
my favorite like busting of that I can't breathe because of the mask was a U.S. Marine who like had like this thick fabric something that they would use to cover their nose and mouth and neck
Mhm.
in like the sands of Afghanistan,
Yeah,
and he's like, look, this
yeah,
I had to wear this for 18 hours.
yeah. You can wear it for an hour, stop it.
Yeah.
You're okay. I mean, there are some people like, that don't believe it's a real thing and all that stuff. But luckily here it seems to be far fewer than in the States. So, but I'm hoping that Trump is right and that we just have to get this vaccine instantly.
Vaccine.
Because it's going to happen, like coronavirus being gone right after the American election.
Oh, it's just gonna magically go
Because
away.
clearly they control the universe. Because it's,
Yeah.
it's only happening there and not everywhere else. Because
Yeah.
their election, like why would it matter in everywhere else in the world? Because we're not voting for anything. So why do we have coronavirus then? Why should we
But
not
why
have it?
why did it start in China? Why didn't it start in Portland, Oregon?
Maybe good.
Oh god, let's not open that box.
And she's mad about it. I mean, China absolutely does cover their tracks and why it out right there before they did tell everyone about it. There's no doubt about it. However, look how well you can change it.
Yeah.
What?
This is a host.
I'm like, why are you just not speak? Like, why are you doing that?
Because a world without the sound of his own voice is a world he feels is devoid of.
Oh, and that, like, how do you not? Oh, I guess so stupid.
Oh God, that's what we all want to know.
I get it. And why are you what? And I think there are that many Americans that are gonna, it's not like he's gonna be blown up. If he wins, I mean, if he loses, I don't think it's gonna be like a huge win. Or a huge loss. There's not gonna be much separated. Which is scary, right?
Yeah.
Not like, I mean, unfortunately, they don't have a strong opponent. Like, if you have like Michelle Obama running, like, she would win by landslide. I think people would go on their boards to vote for her.
Well,
But Joe Biden is a strong enough contender. If he's alive,
he's the best that the Democrats could come up with, even though Elizabeth Warren was there.
yes, well, they don't like her. She's too socialist for them, so it's just terrifying. Terrifying for them.
Like, and I get it. I get the hesitations with Biden, and I'm not a huge fan of Kamala Harris either. She did some really shitty things in California that she should never be forgiven for. But that said, do I want a dictator, or do I want someone I can actually talk to?
Oh, yeah. Definitely want to look at it.
I've never seen a mobilization effort for a U.S. election that I've been able to be a part of like this one. Like, I got my call for my absentee ballot in May.
Yeah. Hopefully Joe Biden can win with actual vote without the mail-in ballot, because if he doesn't, then they're in trouble.
Well, there's already murmurings of people making fail-safe contingencies if it's like a very slight victory for the Democrats. Like, how do we get him out of the White House?
What's about it's gonna be a rigged?
Or without him saying it was rigged, or even if he does, making sure that they can get him out
Totally.
by, Inauguration Day at noon.
Yeah, big deal, but it's kind of sad that you have to think about that though.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to concede. He won't. Can you imagine him conceding?
It would be the most humiliating moment of his life.
He won't concede.
Yeah.
There's no way he will.
Like, the only way he would concede would be if he, lost the way that Walter Mondale lost in '84, which is, one state. He gets one. All other 49 would go for Biden. That's the only time you might
Well,
get
even then, within his conception would be because it was rigged. I'm sure it would be rigged against him, right?
Well, yeah.
So no matter what. But
I'm not saying it would be a perfect scenario, but that's the kind of win you would need to get him to actually pick up the phone.
Yeah, totally. But that's not going to happen. He's going to win, lose in all 49. They're going to vote him in. I think it's going to be a really close race.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm also scared because I live in, I vote in a state where it's going to be ruby red, no matter what I do. But I still have to at least try.
Yeah, really. What state do you vote in?
West Virginia.
And do your dad live there, or where does he live?
Well, I was born in West Virginia, that's why I go there.
Mm-hmm.
And he currently lives in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
He moved back to Pittsburgh when his parents started to, like, they didn't like decline, they were just like slowing down very slowly.
Mm-hmm.
And like to be there as extra supports for his siblings that were already there.
Mm-hmm.
So what is this?
That is my new suction device. It's like a stop bath that's like connected to a HEPA filter. So just when we polish, we create an aerosol.
Okay.
So it just works that up. And then I also use the high volume when I'm doing this now too, just to decrease that as well. And if I don't get all that, then I also have the HEPA filter over there, and I have HVAC. So
Damn.
yeah, I'll move it there. Imagine being like a Republican with anything, like a senator or anyone. Like, how do you rationalize the things that happen and the things
Supreme Court judges.
like what?
The judiciary.
What? No. That's not
That way will overturn Roe versus Wade.
But, and then that's the whole thing, so they, like, okay, so they don't want you to have an abortion.
Yeah.
But then when you have kids, they're mad because you have the kid.
Yeah.
And you don't want to pay for that.
And they don't want you to be on.
Assistance of any kind.
Yeah. They don't want you to be on SNAP, which is what replaced food stamps.
It's a few, I just said, not have this child, and you won't let them do that. But you also don't want me to have this kid.
Yeah, it's like, protect life means not just
Yeah.
at conception. It means
Yeah.
once the child has been evacuated from the mother,
Mm-hmm.
it deserves life, liberty, and the ability to pursue happiness. Honestly, I don't know either.
But then it's like, it's not even like, oh, I made a mistake, I'm gonna, like, they don't even want medical abortions to happen. For medical reasons. They would rather the mother die. Or, they already carry it, like, you know how psychologically damaging it is to carry a child that once you birth them is gonna die?
Yeah,
It's very
or
damaging.
in cases of rape and incest,
Yeah, think about babies.
like, for,
And you think that that's going to be high on the list of people to adopt that incestuous baby? No. You know, I'm not saying that'll be rare, but still, you know, that's not a Republican, I don't think it was a senator or like he actually believed in abortion because this would happen in his family. Again, like his daughter-in-law had this baby that was going to die. It was putting her life in danger. And she did not have this medical procedure for that. So basically that's what changed his mind. Was seeing and transgender and gay rights and everything. There's so many issues.
yeah, like, a few new friends of mine, they're, one is gay, and, one is, like, they're in a relationship, and one of them is non-binary, but because they were born male and present as male, like, they get so many hard passes on certain things, but to get someone to recognize that they are a them and not a he in North Carolina,
Oh, yeah.
it's not happening.
I mean, like, hard enough for me who would accept that to be that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I would subconsciously not do it. And I would catch myself and correct myself, but, you know, one of the...
That's the thing that they taught me as well, like,
Yeah.
because I still mess up and say he
And
sometimes.
then you hear your mouth doing it, you're like, no. That's wrong. So I do it, there's one that, like, a friend has a son, but I always say, I'm a girl, so I always say she.
Yeah.
And I always catch myself as it exits my mouth, and I'm like, I know this is wrong. So the next time I will purposely.
Yeah.
That's the least of their worries, and she's there, right? Never mind. Oh, personal safety.
Oh, absolutely, of course.
You know, like, they're not saying their own pronoun, they just want to have some safety. And it's like, who is that damaging? Like, who really? Of course. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, really?
Why does it bother you that these two are together? How does that affect you?
And you think, like, honestly,
Yeah, let me demonstrate the 100,000 reasons why it doesn't matter.
I'm also like, if this is a choice that you make, why would you make that choice? If your life would be exponentially easier to not do that, why would you choose that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't get, like, that's, it, you know, generally in life, road
Yeah.
that is acceptable to you, you will take that, correct? Why did you go through hurdles and heartache and, losing your family potentially and all that if it was a choice?
Oh yeah, it's
Why would you do
not.
that? It's like, no.
It's never a choice. Why would you choose to tell them, hey, I am not one of the signs on the washroom anymore. I'm actually something completely separate from that.
It's pretty difficult, yeah. Just want to be different, no.
Yeah, no one wants to be different when confronted with that kind of concern.
So I'll just pop you in here for next time, okay?
Okay.
Then you just want to do the same.
9 months-ish.
Yeah, so we're just into June. Does it matter which day or? day?
Let's just pick something at random.
So I could do Wednesday, June 9th at, 1:15, if that sounds okay.
Yeah, well, sure. 1:15 on the 9th of June.
Me and Michelle, we've asked them to leave a buffer because it's like, we're always about 15 minutes late. So we're like, why don't we just ask them to come 15 minutes later at one point, right? Midway through the morning. So we usually do it right on the hour, but we're trying this out, so
Well, let's...
give her a try. There you go. There you go. Let's head
Thank you,
downstairs
madam.
here. Oh, it's great seeing you. Hopefully everything goes as smooth as possible with
Well-
transition.
Yeah, if